Hi ma'am, good morning. And this is my report about what is climate change. I'll start from the beginning. So we have rain, wind, sunshine, fog, frost, and snow. This is the day-to-day change is called the weather. So this is the weather. And then climate change. Climate. The word climate means the long-term weather patterns for a particular area. The equator is an imaginary line around the middle of the earth. A bit is like a bit a bit like a belt. The areas the areas closest to this belt have very hot climates. Areas nearest to either of the poles have very cold climates. So sa taas is yung mga yung malalamig. And sa baba din is malamig. And then sa middle, the equator we have either we have desert, tropical, Mediterranean, and temperate. So, yung polar is sa taas siya, more on malamig siya. Weather watching. So, we have four. We have number one, movement. Wind blows from all directions. Knowing which way the wind is blowing can help predict the weather. So, yung movement is yun yung ma-predict natin yung kung saan yung blow ng wind or saan yung direction ng wind. Then the moisture content of the air cause mist, the fogs of course, rain, and frost of its cold. So ito yung galing sa ulan. And then pangatlo we have pressure. Pressure affects whether we have clear, cloudless days or thunder and lightning storm. And temperature is influenced by all of these, itong tatlo. By all of these, as well as how much sunshine reaches the earth. Climate change. Since the 18th century, scientists known as meteorologists have been monitoring, recording the weather. This record shows that the Earth's atmosphere is beginning to get warmer, which is causing our climate change to change. This is typically true because today's generation or today's climate, it is very very hot and marami na nagkakasakit dahil sa mainit. And then yung tubig natin is for example dito sa Lake Lanao is mababa na yung tubig kasi nga dahil sa climate change na mainit na yung panahon. Climate change, we have dalawa to. This is a natural greenhouse effect. This is natural without human activity. So the sun gives the solar radiation and then nag-radiate yung heat and then less yung radiate heat. So less yung heat na mag-stay sa earth sa greenhouse gases. So mag-release more heat, hindi siya may-stay dun sa earth or sa atmosphere ng earth. And then here we have increased global warming caused by human activity. So ito na yung mga ginagawa ng mga tao, and this is the cause and effect. So sun, same as the natural greenhouse effect. So the more heat na pinapasok ng sun, the more din siya mag-stay, and yung atmosphere ng earth is magiging hot na din, and para siyang na-break na kasi nga yung global warming natin is naka-cause dahil sa yung mga factory. So nasira yung atmosphere ng earth, kaya nga more heat yung papasok and less na yung lalabas na heat. Why does it matter? Human activity has caused the earth to get warmer in the last 100 years. So it means na in the last decades or the last centuries is that yung weather natin is talaga siya nag-level up yung pagka-warmer niya or pagka-init niya. Kasi nga the cause of the activity of the ibang people. So, ayun, nagka-climate change na siya.
Assalamualaikum and good day. I'm Rahana Sika Bugatan, and now let's move on with the Earth's movement around the Sun. So while the orbit remains an eclipse, its position or orientation in space changes over time. Due to the tilt of the sunlight, the Earth spins around its own axis, an imaginary line from the North Pole to the South Pole, which dips and wobbles gradually. The Earth could be then imagined like a spinning top or a trumpo, turning and wobbling in its path about the Sun. So, the elements in this interaction between the Sun and the Earth are defined as follows. So let's now proceed with the first and second element, which are the aphelion and perihelion. So as we all know, the Earth rotates on its axis at a speed of 1,669.97 kilometers per hour completely for one day or for 24 hours. The Earth revolves around the Sun not in a perfect circle but in the form of an ellipse or oval, because there will be times when the Earth will be far from the Sun and at a certain times it will be close to the Sun. So the furthest distance from the Earth to the Sun is called aphelion or aphelion. That the distance is 152 million kilometer, and the Earth's closest distance from the Sun is called perihelion. The distance is 147 million kilometer, and aphelion occurred around July 6th, and perihelion occurs around January 3rd. And the third one is Earth's axial or axial tilt. So it is the inclination angle of the Earth's rotational axis in relation to a line perpendicular to its orbital plane. So axial tilt is also called obliquity or obliquity. Obliquity refers to the angle a planet's rotation axis makes with the plane of its orbit. The Earth is currently tilted 23.5 degrees from this plane, resulting in many remarkable effects and including the seasons around the planet. So the next one is the precession. So it is the change of the orientation of the rotational axis of the Earth. So precession, as Earth rotates, it wobbles slightly upon its rotational axis, like a slightly off-center spinning toy top. This wobble is due to tidal forces caused by the gravitational influences of the Sun and Moon that causes Earth to bulge at the equator, affecting its rotation. So the next one is the equinox. So it refers to the time the sun at noon is directly over the equator. It happens twice a year and causes an almost equal length of day and night. So equinox is an ordinary astronomical phenomenon that occurs when the sun is directly above the equator. It usually occurs every March 21st and September 23rd, and it repeats every year. So the next one is the solstice. So it happens when the sun at noon sits above the Tropic of Cancer or Tropic of Capricorn. The summer solstice has the longest period of daylight in a year, and the winter solstice has the shortest period. A solstice is the time when the sun reaches its most northerly or southerly excursion relative to the celestial equator on the celestial sphere. Two solstices occur annually around June 20 to 22 and December 20 to 22. So solstices mark the start of summer and winter. So the last one is the precession of the equinoxes. So it refers to the motion of the equinoxes relative to the precession of the Earth's axis of rotation. It happens over thousands of years. So the precession of the equinoxes, sometimes simply called precession, is a movement of the celestial equator, the projection of the Earth's equator into space with respect to the fixed stars and ecliptic, and the path of the sun's motion in space as viewed from the Earth. So, in all, the center of the Earth's orbital motion is the sun, but the angle or orientation of the planet around the sun makes all the difference. So, in discussing global warming or climate change, it makes sense to start considering the orbit of the Earth. Sunlight falling upon the Earth warm the planet, of course, but the amount of sunlight, however, is not constant since the orientation of the Earth to the Sun is always changing.
Hello everyone. Today I'll be presenting on the Milankovitch parameters and their significant impact on Earth's climate. These parameters, discovered by Serbian mathematician Milutin Milankovitch, explain the cyclical changes in Earth's orbit and axial tilt that influence long-term climate variations. Milankovitch parameters are three periodic changes in Earth's orbital characteristics. These cycles are key to understanding the timing of ice ages and long-term climatic shifts. Let's delve into each parameter. The first parameter is eccentricity. This refers to the shape of Earth's orbit around the Sun, which varies far from more circular to more elliptical over a cycle of about 100,000 years. When the orbit is more elliptical, the difference in solar radiation received during different parts of the year increases, which can significantly affect the climate. The next one is axial tilt or obliquity. It is the angle between Earth's rotational axis and its orbital plate. This angle oscillates between 22.1 degrees and 24.5 degrees over a cycle of approximately 41,000 years. Changes in axial tilt affect the distribution of solar radiation between the equator and the poles, influencing seasonal contrast and climatic conditions. Lastly, precession is the wobble in Earth's rotational axis occurring over a cycle of about 26,000 years. This wobble shifts the timing of the seasons relative to Earth's position in its orbit, affecting the intensity and duration of seasons. This parameter is crucial in understanding the seasonal climate variations between the hemispheres. Now, let us discuss the effects on climate of these three parameters combined. The combined effects of eccentricity, axial tilt, and precession interact to produce complex climatic patterns. For instance, when high eccentricity coincides with significant axial tilt and precession effects, the climatic impact can be profound, potentially triggering ice ages or other significant climate changes. Understanding Milankovitch cycles is crucial for a long-term climate predictions. While these natural cycles have significantly influenced past climate, current climate change is driven predominantly by human activities. However, integrating knowledge of both natural and anthropogenic factors is essential for comprehensive climate science. In conclusion, Milankovitch parameters are fundamental to understanding Earth's long-term climate variations. Their cyclical nature explains past climatic events such as ice ages and helps in predicting future trends. Ongoing research and monitoring are vital to deepen our understanding and address the challenges of climate change. And that would be all for my topic. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Archery Basil. Today we're going to discuss about global warming. So let's go. Milankovitch parameters describe natural changes in Earth's orbit and tilt, which affect the amount of sunlight Earth receives over thousands of years. These changes can lead to natural climate fluctuations like ice age and warmer periods. Most scientists agree that Earth's average temperature has increased significantly, especially in the latter part of the 20th century. This recent warming is largely attributed to human activities, not just natural cycles. What are the human contributions? First one is the greenhouse gas emissions, burning fossil fuels, coal, oil, and gas. For energy and deforestation release large amount of carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases. These gases trap heat in the atmosphere, much like a greenhouse, leading to higher temperatures. And then second one is deforestation. Reducing forests means fewer trees to absorb carbon dioxide, increasing the concentration of this greenhouse gas in the atmosphere. What are its debates? Number one, natural causes argument. Some believe global warming is purely natural, driven by long-term cycles like the Milankovitch parameters. And then the second one is the human causes arguments. Others argue that human activities are accelerating the warming process, causing temperatures to rise much faster than natural cycles alone would explain. While natural factors like Milankovitch cycles do play a role, the rapid increase in Earth's temperature in recent decades is primarily due to human activities. Understanding this helps us recognize the need to reduce greenhouse gas emissions to mitigate further warming. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.
Good day everyone. So my discussion is greenhouse gases. When we say greenhouse gases plays an important role in the regulation of the earth, its energy balance. Greenhouse gases is a atmosphere trap infrared heat energy trying to escape back to space. They are called greenhouse gases because they behave like a glass in a greenhouse gas, allowing sunlight to pass through but trapping the heat form and preventing it from to escaping, thereby causing a rise in a temperature. In simple words, the greenhouse gas is called because it absorbs infrared radiation from the sun from the heat which is calculated in the atmosphere and eventually lost in space. And greenhouse gases consist of carbon dioxide, methane, ozone, nitrous oxide, chlorofluorocarbons, and water. Water vapor which is react to temperature change, infrared to as a feedback because it implies the effect of forces that initially cause the warming. This is the cause why the greenhouse gases are destroyed because or increasing the carbon dioxide to atmosphere, combustion of burning of coal and fossil fuels, and deforestation, methane to atmospheres and the landfills, agriculture and livestock, while the others gases to atmosphere is the ozone from the car and the CP is from the aerosols. So that's the cause of why the greenhouse gases is increasing. And that's all. Thank you for listening.
Hi, good day. My name is Jihan T. Lomondat and my part is I will be discussing the future action about climate change. Other reporter discuss about what is climate change, what is the impact of climate change and the greenhouses and how we're going to what is the solution or like process to prevent this kind of disaster. Now we're going to discuss about the future action. From the word itself, future action. Since we're discussing about climate change, this future action it's like guiding us or like inspiring us to like we need to do our responsibility or we need to do something to prevent this kind of disaster for our future or for the future generation of our community because like yung mahalaga kasi sa atin na gumawa tayo ng paraan or way para masulit din ng future generation natin yung mga needs or yung mga na i-experience natin today. Kasi once na sinila natin lalo yung bagay na meron tayo since mangyayari hindi na yun possible na ma-meet ng mga future generation natin. So what I'm trying to say is we need to do this kind of act that can prevent the climate change because as you can see climate change also is one of the reason why climate change exists is because of us, because of our people. So because of us people we have a duty or responsibilities to do something to prevent this kind of disaster. So, straightforward, it's very important to us to do what is need to do to in order to help ourselves, that not just because you're going to help the community or you're going to help the future, but also you will also gonna help yourself. So it's very important. Climate change is like it's a big, or it's a huge disaster. Like, I know disaster is a big, but it's very big in climate change because there's a lot of risk that we need to do. So I'm hoping that this my part is will encourage the people to take an action for the future. That let's do not be selfish because dahil we experiencing this kind of thing na kailangan is tayo lang yung maka-experience nun. No, the future generation also deserve to experience the things that we're currently doing. So I'm hoping that people will change. I'm hoping that people will do their responsibilities, and I'm hoping that they will adopt it to themselves. And climate change is one of the thing that why climate change defined is the science, because the science or technology help us to define what is climate change, what we can do, or what can technology do to this kind of disaster. But now, kung mapapansin natin, sobrang init na talaga. Kasi nung ozone layer natin is lalong numinipis siya dahil sa mga nangyayari ngayon. Now, which is, kung pagmamasan natin or kung iisipin natin or kung titignan natin is why ozone layer, kung bakit numinipis yung ozone layer natin is dahil yun sa mga tao. Tayo yung reason bakit nagkakaroon ng climate change, bakit numinipis yung ozone layer. So we have to adapt to ourselves that we have our responsibilities to prevent this kind of disaster. Maybe I'm not going to not kailangan talaga na gawin natin kung ano na dapat. Maybe little by little we can do something little by little by preventing this kind of disaster. So I'm hoping that my report help you to understand or will adopt you to yourself that you need to do, or you have a responsibilities about this kind of disaster happening in our society. And that's all. My name is Ian Dilamonet, and we are Group 4, Check 108, Section PQ2, and thank you.